Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel StudyTube India for Commerce and Management. In this lesson, we will be studying the concept of Project Portfolio Management, that is PPM, under Business Planning and Project Management. In this lesson, we will be covering the topics like Project Portfolio Management, Project Proposals, what are the components and steps under Project Portfolio Management. Then we would be studying about the person who is handling the entire project management process or the project portfolio management, that is the project manager or project management officer, that is PMO. We will be studying what are the skills required to be a PMO, what are the functions performed by the portfolio manager, what is the role of portfolio manager in the PPM, that is the project portfolio management, and lastly we would be studying what are the responsibilities of the project manager towards various parties. So without any further delay, let us start with the lesson. So a project portfolio is nothing but a collection of projects, programs and processes that are managed together and optimized for the financial and strategic goals of an organization. So these projects, these programs and processes need not to be interconnected or interdependent in any way. Now there are certain organizations whose main business whose main whose main operations are done on pure project basis, right? So this particular organization has many projects with itself. It is working on various projects from different clients, from different stakeholders. So collection of all these projects together are referred to as project portfolio. So project portfolio management, that is PPM, is the analysis and optimization of various resources like costs, resources, technologies and processes for all the projects within a portfolio. And there is a designated person who is specialized in PPM, that is project portfolio management, referred to as portfolio managers or project management officers. So the project portfolio management undertakes various different tasks under with itself, right? So here is how the flow of project portfolio management goes. So the step one is project portfolio management is designed to improve the execution of complex projects in research and development and information technology organizations. So as I said, pure project based organizations like research and development organizations who work on projects continuously. And then we have also information technology firms who undertake, whose pure business runs on various projects given by different stakeholders, different clients. Then PPM integrates information from existing project management, human resources, financial and time tracking systems to provide a complete overview of an organization's project portfolio. That is, it analyzes all the resources from various different existing projects. Then subordinates to the project portfolio managers or project management officers like project executives, project resource managers, employees can easily drill down this high level information to view more details. So when a project is handed over to you, that is the idea basically is given to you by the client or by the client mostly, or the sponsors. They give you what the expectations they have from the project. However, the entire working, what are the activities, sub activities, tasks, breaking down of these tasks, availability of resources, all these things need to be broken down, which is done under this particular process. And by integrating data from existing enterprise systems like human resources and financials, presents relevant project data in a timely, role-based manner. So executives, project managers, and team members can make smart decisions. That is, all the information is given to the various team members working on a project so that they can work accordingly, right? Then moving ahead, we will see the project portfolio process. So you already have an idea. In the previous slide, you already got an idea as to how it flows. So basically, defining it by certain phases will be as such. That is, the first step would be defining the priorities and strategic concerns of the organization, then collect portfolio data to discern insights into its management, model and analyze data and review it carefully, and lastly, synthesize what you have learned and communicate it to the stakeholders, sponsors, and the clients of the project. Now, this project portfolio process is undertaken, or rather it takes into consideration the fundamental uh, project management process in order to create a project portfolio process. Now that we are studying project portfolio process, is another important element or another important component that is involved in the project management is uh, project proposals. So project proposals is a document prepared before the execution of the project. So it basically forms the outline of the project and depicts the results of the project. So as you can see in the image itself, it works as a checklist which describes the identified work to be done, explain why this work needs to be done, inform that the team is qualified for the work. Also, it takes into consideration that the organization or the enterprise has the resources to complete the task within the stated time and cost constraints. So that is the entire purpose of project proposals. So it generally is used to give certain clarity to the investors as well as the project owners. This is yet another document that you would present for getting funding from the financial institutions and the sponsors. So the components or the elements of a ideal project proposal are firstly the cover page, then the introduction, which includes the antecedents, history and definition of the problem. It also has the justification and intervention under the introduction part. So this needs to be very brief and nothing in detail. Then you also need to add objectives of the project, why the project is undertaken, what are the objectives that can be fulfilled by completing or after completing this project. Then you have intervention, design and strategy that you are planning to use or implement. Also, you need to mention the activities and timelines, as mentioned in the previous lessons, that the project manager needs to specify tasks, subtasks, and allocate these tasks to be done within a certain timeline, which are referred to as milestones. So all these things need to be mentioned in the project proposal. Then another important thing that needs to be added is budget. Budget of the project. What are the estimated costs that will be required for this particular project. Then you have evaluation indicators, and lastly we have things like bibliography and annexures, which again help you in making your project proposal or making your project more saleable, more appealing to the investors and the sponsors. So these are certain things, or these are the contents of the project proposal. Now, after knowing what is project portfolio management, project proposal, let us now study about the person who is responsible for undertaking all these projects efficiently. So that is project manager. So a project manager is a person assigned by the performing organization to lead the team that is responsible for achieving the project objectives. So project managers are the people who have overall responsibility for the successful initiation, planning, designing, execution, monitoring, controlling and closure of a project. So the entire project management process needs to be undertaken successfully. That is the sole responsibility of project manager. So in order to become a project manager, there are certain skills that needs to be are looked after or are sought after. So these are certain key values of project managers. So first is leadership skill, that the project manager should be able to motivate and inspire team members to achieve common goals. He needs to have a problem solver attitude. He should be able to come up with a solution or find a workaround if there are any roadblocks in a project. Then he should be able to communicate effectively. So 90% of time during a project goes in communicating with the stakeholders and the team members. So it is all about communicating to the right people at the right time appropriately. So it is another value of a project manager that is looked after. Then we have cultural awareness. A culturally aware project manager can avoid miscommunications and conflicts in a team. So we will be studying about cultural awareness and conflict, how to handle or how to resolve conflict, or what are the reasons or why conflict may arise during project management, and at what stages of project management process what type of conflict may arise. So that is we are going to study in the further lessons. And lastly, having an optimistic attitude, that is embracing change to bring a new ideas and innovate during the project life cycle. So these are certain values of a project manager. Right, now let us study what is the role of project manager. So as you can see, the role of project manager is to develop a project plan, provide regular updates to the upper management, that is to the top level management, to establish a project schedule, determine the methodology. In the very first lesson, we studied what are the different types of methodologies that can be undertaken while business planning and project management. Then managing deliverables, that is managing the products, the end products, and leading and managing the project team. These are certain role or rather responsibilities of the project manager. Then we have another role is to manage shared resources across all the projects. So now, as you know, we are talking about project portfolio, right? Wherein we have n number of projects going on simultaneously. Again, these projects may or may not be directly connected. So there are various resources that may be required and shared by all the projects. So it is the function of the project manager to manage these shared resources across all the projects. Secondly, he needs to identify and develop the management methodology and best practices, set standards for control and inspection. Then he needs to coach, mentor, or train the employees to certain extent who are working under him, and he need to coordinate communication across the projects. As we studied in the earlier slide, communication is one of the key element or key skill that we are looking into for a project manager. Therefore, the one of the function is coordinating communication across the projects. Also here, the project managers must be able to motivate the employees or the team members that are working under him. And lastly, taking timely actions and revising the project plans in accordance with the real-time implications. That is, if something goes wrong, the project manager should be able to take timely and quick decisions for and revise the project plans according to the risks and issues that may arise according to the real-time implications, that is on timely basis. So these are certain functions of a project manager. Then we have what are the different responsibilities of the project manager. So the responsibilities of the project managers can be divided into three categories. First being the responsibilities towards the parent organization, that is for the organization for whom he is working. So these responsibilities include proper conservation of resources, that is making optimum use of the available resources, timely and accurate project communications, that is making communications timely as well as accurately to the relevant interested parties. And it is also the responsibility of the project manager towards his parent organization that the budget and the cost is not exceeded for completion of the project. Then moving ahead to responsibilities towards the client. So the first responsibility is customer satisfaction. Understanding, managing, and influencing needs so that customer expectations are met or exceeded. Exceeded are desirable. Then this requires a combination of conformance of specifications from the clients and fitness for use, that is the project or the deliverable that you would be providing to the customer should be fit for use. It should be usable. So these are two criteria for customer satisfaction. Then next responsibility is to preserve integrity of project and the client, that is adhere to the non-disclosure agreements about any sensitive information of regarding the client as well as the project. Another responsibility towards client is to resolve the conflict amongst interested parties. And lastly, to ensure performance, budgets and deadlines are met. That is, the project should not exceed the estimated budget or the allotted budget, and it should also not exceed the estimated timeline. And last but not the least, the project manager's responsibilities towards the project team members, that is towards all the members who are working in that particular project. So the first responsibility under that is to ensure impartiality and consistency in behavior, and while implying rules and guidelines. And second responsibility is to see to it that the members' futures after the project, like what are the team members going to do after the project is completed. So yes, students, this is all about project portfolio process and project managers. I hope you've understood this lesson. If you have any doubts or queries regarding this lesson, please let me know in the comment section below, or you can also let me know during the live classes. I will be more than happy to help you with it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next class. Until then, take care and happy learning.